Hi guys, so today's video is going to be all about products that I recommend for oily skin. I've actually gotten quite a bit of questions on, primers and foundations and everything like that because a lot of you have let me know that we have the same skin type, you're very oily, and there's not a lot of people out there, I feel like, that do videos that have very, very, very oily skin like I do. It's kind of hard to find products that will work for me if, they like something. It's just kind of hard to find stuff that will work for me in the same way because I have super oily skin. There's no dryness about it. It's just super, super oily. So I wanted to do this video for you guys today because I want to help you out. I know a lot of you have been telling me that, you have the same skin type as me and you love the recommendations I've given you so far. There is drugstore and there is high-end, so hopefully you can maybe find something that will suit to your needs. I'm sorry if you can hear the ruckus in the background. The guys are playing Call of Duty and they get crazy with that kind of stuff. For primers, I have not found a drugstore primer that is great at keeping me matte. I have tried quite a few and I just haven't found anything that, helps keep me looking matte all day. I think a lot of them are mainly towards people with dry skin. So the ones that I have are high-end, but they're really great and I definitely recommend them. So the first one I want to talk about is one you guys have heard me talk about 1,000 times. It's the MAC Prep and Prime Skin Refine Zone, and I love this primer because it does help keep you matte and it also helps with pores. I know if you probably have really oily skin like I do, you have larger pores in this area, and it's just something that kind of comes along sometimes with oily skin. You just kind of have to deal with it. But I love this because it helps reduce your pores and it also helps keep you matte for a very long time. I love this primer. It's so good. And a lot of you see me use the Professional with this. I like it. It is oil free, but I don't think this keeps me matte. Sometimes I feel like it makes me more oily, so all I use this for is to kind of put it in the areas I have very large noticeable pores, and then I go over everything with this primer and it'll help keep me matte. And then these two are just some other ones I want to include. I actually got this as a 100-point perk from Sephora. It's the Becca Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. This is very good. And then another one I have is the Eve Pearl Anti-Shine Mattifying Gel. I used to rave about this one all the time, and these are both kind of like the same thing. I personally feel like these are the kind of treatments that, or these are the kind of primers that you would want to put in the areas you're super oily, because sometimes I find myself wanting to put this all over my T-zone and everything, but then I start having like these white patches where you can see where I put the primer, and it's just because it dried out so much and it really is trying to keep you matte. So I would just focus this on areas you get really oily, which for me would be right here in the center of my forehead and on my chin. And that's where I would apply these primers. They're fantastic though. I highly recommend them if you are looking for something to keep you completely matte. The first one I want to talk about is one I actually used for literally months straight. Like, I did not use another foundation because I was just obsessed with this one. And it's the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus. Now, this is a really great foundation for oily skin. It kept me very matte. It has great coverage. It's beautiful on the skin. I used to love applying it with a beauty blender, which I still do, but I only use it every now and then because I have so many foundations I just kind of rotate. This is really good, super high coverage, and this looks like a little bottle, but honestly it lasts for so long. I still have 3 bottles of these in 3 different shades because when I self-tan my color kind of fluctuates. I have a couple more. This one's almost empty, but I love it. Make sure you shake it up really well before you use it, and it's perfect, and you just twist off the top and you have a little squeezy, which I like. I think it's convenient. Next, I want to talk about this Hourglass foundation. I actually just did a review on this, which I will leave in the description box below and you can check that out. But it's the Immaculate Liquid Powder Foundation. It's oil-free. This is very mattifying. I talk more about it in that video. I go a little bit more in depth, but this is a great foundation to help keep you matte, especially if you have a special event to go to and you want to make sure you don't have to worry about blotting your face the whole time. This is definitely the way to go. It is so good, and I highly recommend it. It's like amazing. I love this stuff. Next, I have these foundations from the drugstore. It's the Covergirl Outlast Stay Fabulous foundations, and these are the best foundations by far in the drugstore that I have ever tried. These do give you like a satin kind of finish, and what I love is that you can set it with a powder and it'd be completely matte. These last for so long. They make your skin look beautiful. It doesn't look like you've caked on your foundation or anything. Like, it is stunning. They're hands down the best drugstore foundation ever. I love this. Even with my oily skin, I don't get excessively oily or anything like that. It just looks so pretty. If you do get a little shiny, you can just blot, repowder throughout the day and you'll be fine. but I love these foundations. This is by far my favorite one, even better than the Revlon Color Stay, because Revlon Color Stay is very thick. If you want to see those in action, I will leave my current foundation routine down below in the description box and you can check that out. Okay, the last foundation is this Nars Sheer Matte Foundation, and I love this. Some people say they like sheer glow even if they have oily skin, but personally my skin is just so oily. I always go to matte. I never purchase anything with glow in it. I never go for anything that says it's gonna have luminosity, it's gonna make me look glowy. I never go for products like that because I already know it's gonna make me super shiny. This one's really great, and since my whole face is pretty much oily, it never looks cakey or gross or anything like that. So I love this foundation. I used to use it so much back in the day, and I finally repurchased it, and I love it. The pump does not come with it. You do need to purchase a pump separately. That's the only thing that kind of sucks about it, but it's a really great foundation and I highly recommend it. Now for BB cream, this one's also from the drugstore. It's the Garnier BB cream. They have one for dry skin or the dry normal skin, and then they have one for a combination to oily skin, and I love this. The only thing I don't like about it is the smell. The smell just smells like kind of rubbing alcohol, and it reeks. But this covers so well and it lasts forever, and literally I will stay matte for the longest time. And this is the only BB cream I've found that has actually kept me completely matte for a few hours. Like, I mean, for a BB cream, that's really great because sometimes they don't even keep you matte for like 2 hours. So I love this, highly recommend it if you're just wanting something quick from the drugstore, not too heavy on the skin, you know, not too much coverage. I would definitely try this out if you have oily kind of combo skin. Last but not least is my favorite part, and that is powders. So the first one I want to talk about is this Urban Decay De-Slick Mattifying Powder, and I actually got this off of Haute Look a while back. It's just like a translucent powder, but this is really great. I keep this in my purse, which is why you guys never see it, because I keep, actually these two powders, I keep them in my purse at all times. This one's awesome. Like I said, I got off of Haute Look. I get a lot of things off of Haute Look actually. That's where I got my Pearl Mattifying Gel. I'll leave the link down below. This is really good. It just helps keep you matte. It doesn't add any extra coverage or anything. And just make sure your skin has that nice matte finish. You don't have any shine. And I love it. I think it's great. The packaging is super cute, and I'm super happy I got that a while back. Another one is from the drugstore. I've repurchased like 2 or 3 of these. It's the Maybelline Dream Matte Powders, and you can see this one's hit pretty good pan, but I have another one that's new in my purse. This is awesome. I think this is so comparable to a high-end powder just because it's so fine and you can't really tell that you have it on your skin. Like, you could keep piling this on and it's not going to look cakey. It's so pretty. I used to rave about this all the time, but I still love it. I keep it in my purse and it's amazing. And the color I have is medium 01 and it's sand. And then the last one is like the most expensive powder, but it's so good. It's the Dior Airflash Matte Touch. This is another product you better have super oily skin or you don't even need to try it because it is so mattifying, and I just adore this. I think it's so good. It does have like this little beige tint to it. There's only one shade. I love this. Some people, you can spray it on like this if you want to, but I like to spray it onto a brush and then pat it into my skin, just because if I spray it on, sometimes it gets a little too powdery. So I just like to have more control, spray it on the brush, press it into my skin, and I stay matte for literally hours. Like, it's so good. It's very pricey. I had this for a couple months now and I still have quite a bit of product left, so I love this stuff. I think it's great and I highly recommend it. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Obviously, everything I mentioned was something that's going to help to keep you more matte. I know since I have oily skin, I mainly want to find products that is going to keep me very matte, and I don't want to look shiny throughout the day. So those are the products that I recommend. And if you have any products that you recommend, then leave them down below in the comments. I would love to see them and maybe try out some new ones. Don't forget to like it and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!